We are coming at you, so you better duck. This is Howard the Duck on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers! Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to a podcast that has not funny intros, apparently.
I thought you were going to go with a tender look at bestiality. This is Howard the Duck on Stinker Madness.
See, and I thought you were going to go quack, 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 quack. Howard the Duck.
I thought about, hey, what rhymes with suck? Yeah, Howard the Duck. Jackie is back from her sabbatical for 2 weeks and chose the George Lucas masterpiece, as it were, the film he's most respected for, I would say. No. And
It's a self-proclaimed cult classic, according to the DVD.
right.
I want to know where these people are that like this, because I haven't met any of them. And I know a lot of people that like bad movies, and I know no one that actually likes this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie, how was your trip? How's being back on the show, more importantly?
Oh, well, Canada was great.
Yeah, you took a trip up to the Canuck land.
Oh, the state of Washington was beautiful.
Did you see Wolverine while you're up there?
No.
Oh, okay, that's too bad.
I didn't make it very far in, and then I got detained by customs trying to come back.
Neither did Logan. The last we saw him, he was just on the other side of the border as a corpse. Does Logan's corpse rot, or can you just like prop him up?
He's going to come back as another actor.
The ghost of Wolverine.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Andy Dick Wolverine.
Yeah, why not, right? With these other people they're choosing for superheroes, I think Andy Dick would be a fine choice for the next Wolverine.
Yeah. I was also in the San Juan Islands,
Mm-hmm.
Anna Cortez, and Bellingham in Washington.
Cool.
And then I took a trip out to St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, and we talked about that.
And it was snowing there. I froze my ass off.
We now have somebody we can finally get this hard-boiled question, literally hard-boiled question answered, Sam. How was the Brundle steak?
Oh, my God. You know, I love my sister so much, and she's a total health nut. And, you know, bless her little soul, I wish I had more restraint with food.
I'm going to stop you right here. She has to be at least only 99.9% health nut, because there's nothing healthy about putting a steak in a microwave.
No, I would actually...
She fed it to her son. She didn't even eat it. She was down there eating cottage cheese, and I walked in, and there's a steak going in the microwave, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, oh, I'm making Robert a steak. I'm like, oh, my God.
No, you're not. You're not making him a steak at all. You're making him a discus.
It was quite the show. And then she tried to make steaks later in the week when I was there, and I was like, you know what we do at home is just set the oven to 350, cook it in a pan that has a metal handle, sear it on both sides, and then stick it in there.
That is not how we make steak. That is how we make pork chops. But
but I had her do that, and they were delicious.
Okay, all right, there you go.
So because she was once again gonna microwave them, and I was like, no,
I'm not fucking eating that. No.
There were a lot of nights that I went hungry. I'm not gonna lie, and I was glad that I had like leftover snacks from the airplane in my bag, because I was like, I'm not fucking eating that. Jesus.
So we still don't have a ruling on the Brundle steak.
Robert did not like it.
Okay.
And Jolene was down there yelling at him to eat it.
Okay.
It's like, I can't chew it.
He's like, this is gross. And she's like, I made that for you. You eat that.
I can play sports with this, but not put it into my mouth.
I'll eat the desk instead. It's softer.
All right, we have to move on from Jackie's trip. Howard the Duck is what you've brought us this week to kick off Nonsensical November. Let's have an early ruling here. Do we think that this fits into Nonsensical November, where to refresh the fans' memory, we talk about a movie that makes absolutely no sense, and we struggle to understand the plot?
I think it does barely, and we'll probably work that in the final questions.
Okay.
But in terms of like bananas nonsense, it isn't really bananas nonsense.
Well, it's definitely not bananas, but just whether it's rivals films like The Wicker Man and 88 Minutes previous.
No, nothing
entries.
right.
No.
We're gonna have a hard time beating 88 minutes for nonsense.
Yeah.
that thing
Oh,
is.
come on. He comes from a planet that looks just like Earth. It's in the shape of an egg.
Yeah.
That isn't necessarily nonsense.
Yeah, it's a gag. It's
It's nonsense.
nonsensical. Okay. So Howard the Duck from 1986. Executive producer George Lucas, starring Leah Thompson, Tim Robbins, Jeffrey Jones, who will be lovingly called Ed Rooney, because that's what I know him for. He was also in. He was in Devil's Advocate. You remember when we went and saw that, Sam, at the theater, and we were like, Ed Rooney.
It's a guy from Beetlejuice.
I mean, Ed Rooney in Beetlejuice's, or what's her name?
Winona Ryder?
Yeah, but what's her character's name in the show? It's something silly like Aloysius or something like that.
Sonora?
Yeah, well, no, that's the song. But
Oh.
Anyways, that's what Ed Rooney's good at. And then they put him in the Devil's Advocate, and you're like, what are you doing here, buddy?
I think Jeff Jones can do anything because he's in Ravenous. He's very good in that too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was licking me.
He can kind of do whatever except for the one thing that you can't do, which is take pictures of 14-year-old boys naked.
Yeah,
he
you
got
can't do that.
real trouble for
Can't do that, Jeff.
So I
Was
can
that the
only
redhead
praise
guy?
him so much.
Yeah. Ed Rooney.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
fourth time we've brought that up on the podcast, Jackie. So.
Yeah, no, it was like one of those where like you always want to praise Ed Rooney, or not Ed Rooney, but Jeff Jones for his acting ability, and you're like, oh God, no.
Whoa.
What else you got about Howard the Duck, Sam? I'm assuming there's a bevy of information
Well,
about
there's
this film.
probably too much,
Yeah.
to be honest. And
Well,
there's-
let me just take over from here.
Okay, here we
brother.
go.
I know one fact.
He's a duck man.
There was some stop motion in this movie.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
No
And
Harry Heinhauser.
I really thought that they did a really good job with Howard the Duck's animated eyes to give him some features.
Okay.
I think it was before its time.
Really?
No.
No.
I just wanted to say that because I heard it in the documentary.
Hey,
Okay, go ahead. I don't know anything.
Okay, that's good. So Lucas pretty much resigned as studio head for Lucasfilms to concentrate on this.
Oh, okay.
He had been wanting to work on it. They'd been wanting, because he loved the comic book, so he'd wanted to make it since right after American Graffiti. And sort of never got around to it, and then in 1984 decides, we're doing it now. And he quits being the head of Lucasfilm to concentrate on making movies again, and this is the first one that he's going to do. So he's sort of putting his heart and his soul back into the filmmaking process.
Let me stop you there. What do you suppose was the alternative? Like, well, you're going to have to step down because, we've got to focus on... You either have to focus on this or you have to focus on this other project that... He's like, no, I'm doing Howard the Duck. What would make you stop and be like, yeah, I think now's the time to do Howard the Duck. Like, we're done with the Return of the Jedi, and we've got the next thing on our plate is what?
Sir, well, I think at that
Money.
point,
Yeah.
he had to make the decision, is he going to just farm out his company as a studio, or is he going to keep making movies? And Howard the Duck was the one that said, I love this too much. I'm making Howard the Duck.
Everybody else is like, you need to go away.
So they put the full force and weight of Lucasfilms into Howard the Duck.
Right.
Hayek had been around the director. He had worked with him sort of behind the scenes on Star Wars, uncredited as a writer. Been sort of a studio assistant to Lucas for a long time, gets chosen to direct it. His friend Gloria Katz produces it.
Yeah.
He and Katz had been working together before. They did Temple of Doom together.
They got along like cats and dogs.
Katz and Lucas's. And Hyjinx.
And Hyjinx.
And Hyjinx. And I think we noticed in the credits that there's a bunch of different people playing the suited
Howard the Duck.
the Duck. They shot with a lot of units.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that made this sort of cost a lot. There was only one really good animatronic head.
Okay.
And so they had problems with it as well. So there's a lot of, issues.
Well, they got to fit a person inside of an electronic head, too.
if you watch it, there's a lot of the same things that Spielberg does with E.T. in this thing, where you really don't see a lot of the movement on the face outside of the close-up. So they do have a lot of other suits that are just rubber faces, basically.
Okay, and so then they just do like a bust shot where there's not actually anybody inside of it, and there's just a guy with a remote control shooting.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I knew something about this film.
Almost.
Yes. Not quite.
Almost,
Not
yeah.
quite. It doesn't work in this.
Other things of interest that I would be just... Here's the nonsense of this movie for Nonsense November. The ultralight sequence was shot. They shot the hell out of that thing. The only way they could do that and really get it to look like that, Tim Robbins had to fly the electrolyte.
That's fantastic.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's dangerous.
Him and Ed Gale had to fly that thing in some of the shots because there's no other way to do it.
Right, exactly.
There is definitely some stunt work, and there is some loosey-goosey. Like, if you know anything about the ultralight, it is you're going to crash it.
Uh-huh.
Whoever is the stunt pilot is a crazy asshole.
You get actually an achievement, like there's a parade for you if you actually land one.
If you land one, yeah,
Right.
no. It's a tent with a lawnmower engine.
It doesn't make the news when you crash it. It makes the news when you land
Land it properly.
Man lands ultralight
Yeah.
and gets a parade.
They-
And the keys
so-
to the city.
So we're like, isn't that a tent with a lawnmower engine and bicycle wheels? Yes, it is. You
Indeed.
can fly these.
I'm not going to lie. When that came on screen, I did a little research to see if I could buy one.
No, absolutely
I could
not.
probably take off from the length of our street.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, who I'm not a big fan of, but he built one and subsequently crashed
Crashed it, yeah. No,
I mean, here's how shitty they are, Jackie, now we live, well, I guess we
how
live in the United
more
States.
shitty can it be described as a tent with a lawnmower engine on bicycle wheels?
I'll tell
That
you
is
how
exactly
shitty
what it
is.
looks like.
They crash when you're not using them.
Yeah.
The wind, like, goes... It
it'll-
takes it fucking 6 miles
If
and
you don't-
litters it against the highway.
Yeah, if you don't stake it down, they'll just blow over.
They crash when you're not using them. They're impossible.
One of our high school friends, Grandpa, Don, would fly them. John's grandfather. And he had crashed when I went to his house right after he had crashed one. And we're like, oh, we're thinking, he's doing loop-de-loops and all this other stuff to crash it, right? We're like, oh, this has got to be the most amazing story ever. And we're like, what happened? He's like, oh, I got into it and a gust of wind came up and it turned me upside down and crashed the shit out of it. Like, you didn't even turn it on.
I was not flying it right then.
Oh, it was flying for a second, but I wasn't in control.
Wow. Yeah. So, what else, Sam? What about some numbers? You got any of those? I'm sure.
15 is what it made against 30.
Yeah.
30 was probably a lie.
Yeah.
They,
right.
they probably hit a lot of costs, whereas other studios will inflate costs.
Mm-hmm.
They probably hid some.
Yeah. But plus the marketing. I'm sure George Lucas got behind it.
He did.
Yeah.
They did get, there was a lot of product placement, so they at least got some of that back. I think it's probably broke even in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But not really what you want.
No.
When Universal screened it, Gloria Katz said that the executives walked out without saying anything, and then she just turned to Lucas and said, I don't think it's very good.
Whoops.
So I do have a side question because I
Sure.
recognize the black lady from the band, from
Yeah.
the lady band.
hanging with Mr. Cooper. She was in that show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I thought I remembered her from like some after school specials or.
That's pretty much hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. She
Yeah,
was somebody.
She's the girlfriend.
Okay.
Somebody. That's a stretch.
She's been in a lot of stuff for a long time. I didn't look up her name, though, because I'm a douche.
You know what's terrible though is that I'm watching this movie, and I know that actresses are, that thin is in,
Sure.
so to say.
Well, yeah.
But I'm watching these girls on stage, the lady band, and their legs are so skinny
Oh, absolutely.
that they can put both their feet together and they still have a gap in between their thighs, and that is not healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you're making definitely a statement about the visual aspect of Hollywood casting, but don't forget that Leah Thompson is a tiny person.
She's just small. And some people are just genetically like that.
And so if you cast a bunch of normal people next to her. I don't know. It might look weird, but whatever.
It does when she's standing next to
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins or Jeff Jones. She's just like, whoa, she's a gelfling. Catch her.
Yeah, I
Suck out
thought
her life essence.
Put her in a bottle.
I thought that they were standing on boxes when they were standing next to her
I think
because
that-
they're twice her height.
Yeah, I
Well,
think she was actually.
yeah.
Because there's a couple of shots where you see her next to people in a wide, and then you see her and she's like all of a sudden able to be in the same shot with them. Therefore,
Right.
there's a box.
Yeah. She's the one that's on a box.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie. Yeah, she's a half a person. You could combine her with her daughter, and you'd still only have half a person.
I don't know.
You know, that's Dumb and Dumber.
I don't know.
Actually, her
I,
daughter's a little chesty. You can probably squeeze a whole person out of one of those things. Huh?
Whoops, she fell over
Oh,
again.
Yeah, no. And that Jeff Jones and Tim Robbins are freakishly tall.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. They're both like 6'8".
They're both Frankensteins.
Yeah.
Should we get into this, guys?
Sure. Real quickly though, the other thing that had them do. Leah Thompson did her own singing.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed
Thomas
that.
Dolby recorded the songs, but she actually did the singing.
Huh? How about that?
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
That is pretty cool. Good for her.
Also,
she sounded pretty good.
yeah, she's a good singer. If that's really her, because it sounded great. Ellis Weiner.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Ellis Weiner, director.
That's the name of their band.
No, this is different. How this thing just sort of like everything to do with Howard the Duck ends up being something for no fucking reason.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's what it is. Nonsense November. So Ellis Weiner was a editor at National Lampoon. He wrote the novelization for this, which allegedly now has a cult following as well.
I would like to get my hands on that. That would be interesting.
That's about the size of it. And other stuff I can kind of sprinkle in as we talk about it.
I should once again remind Sam that it's not Nonsense November.
Oh, fuck.
It's Nonsensical November. Get it straight.
Perhaps you are unfamiliar with my nonsensicalism, sir.
Or your lack of short-term memory.
Yes.
After,
He did hit his head.
yeah, he crashed an
lot.
ultralight, and
I
now
came here in an ambulance because I tried to come here in an ultralight.
now he-
You were really in the spirit of the movie. I appreciated it. I saw you go down by the bird park. I was a little concerned, but I didn't say anything to Justin because I was like, well, the only thing I could identify was a beard. It might not be him.
could have been a duck. Man. All right. Open on, I'm guessing it's New Duck City, in Howard's apartment, because Howard lives on Duck World, or whatever this place is in the context of the film, maybe not the comic, but it's like Earth, but everything is duck labeled.
Yeah, it's a parallel duck universe.
Yeah, but it's not like our universe where everything is people labeled. Like, hey, did you check out the new Tom Human movie?
Yeah, Human.
It's like, hey, check out the new Tom Duck movie. Duck this, duck that, duck everything.
Yes, it's not a parallel universe. It's beating us in the head with the fact that there are ducks there.
It's branded Duck Place. I mean, duck.
Goose.
You know what
Yeah.
I didn't see?
No gooses.
Any duck butter.
No.
It was all parquet. Oh,
Oh, no.
believe it's not duck butter.
There's 3 people that got that one. Sam.
Yep, and they're all sitting right here.
I don't think Jackie did.
No, I know that that's Fabio.
Okay,
Nope,
nope,
you didn't
that's
get
the-
duck butter.
That was the second joke. The first one was parquet.
Oh, God
There
damn
was
it.
3 of them in there, actually. Yeah, they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
bad.
Okay, yeah, I get it now. I'm just slow.
Really? Maybe I don't get duck butter because I think duck butter is something totally
Well,
different.
duck butter is something totally different.
Okay. All right.
Parquet.
No.
It's not parquet, I know that. It's parquet is vegetable oil made into margarine.
No.
Whereas duck butter is not margarine at all.
What is it, Sam?
It's the film on panties.
Okay, thank you. You do know what duck butter is. Christ. Did Jackie?
Yeah,
Okay,
it just took
all
me a little bit because I was like, oh, he's going with the parquet joke. Maybe he doesn't know what it means. And so I'm like, okay.
All right. Whew, man.
should do like
That was
a-
almost a...
Oprah Uma with parquet and parkour. Mayonnaise and jumping on things. You'll never get to do it. That's the closest anyone's going to get. It's right there.
All right. Yeah, so Howard comes home. He's what would we call him in our world? Like he's a down on his luck guy, but
No,
he's
he
not
seems
even
to-
down on his luck. But
He's
that's how the
defeated
film-
by life, and he has taken what life has given him instead
Yeah.
of following his dreams because everybody put him down.
Yeah, he's got an okay existence,
Sure.
but he's pretty bummed out about it. Like his life is go to work, come home, watch
Duck-O-Vision.
Duck-O-Vision. What's the show on Duck-O-Vision?
There was a
Duckfeld.
the $1,000 pyramid.
Yeah, right.
There was an advertisement that for a guy that was selling stereos at insane prices.
Jake and the Duckman.
Oh, I didn't see Jake.
They had a Price is Right. You want a new car?
The Price is Duck. You mean?
The duck is right.
Yeah, the duck is right.
When these free underwears, try not to ruin them too quick.
Do ducks have more duck butter than humans? That's the real question here.
No, I would assume not because they don't sweat.
So what do they call it?
Crotch gunk?
You know, he does itch his crotch in this scene.
Yeah, he does have
they
itchy
have
crotch.
They have the jock itch commercial, and he's sitting there,
Yeah, it's
and his
duckish.
crotch.
Yeah.
and I'm like, ugh.
These ducks do, not our ducks.
Well, that's why, you shouldn't wear pants.
When you're a duck or a
ever,
period.
because you get, stuff in your nethers. You spray it with tenactin.
And that's why we do this show completely free.
Mm-hmm.
Untethered.
Well, we're just trying to help the public.
Yeah, it doesn't make it smell any better in here.
No.
I mean, it smells like crotch.
Yeah. It's not the pants, apparently. It's the crotch.
Okay. All right, so he sits in his easy chair. He's ready to watch some tube, and he gets sucked into space
Yeah.
through his apartment building, and then out through the city. Which we gotta talk about one thing here. Duck tits.
He's looking at a play duck.
That one's a little. It's not front on that we see the play duck tits. It's his neighbor's tits.
They go back. There's 2 shots of it.
Yeah.
Just so that you can get another eye load of these duck tits.
And they're not like sculpted. Hey, that duck has a full blouse. It's duck tits. There's
Duck
nipples,
Tits.
nipples that come through the feathers, and yeah.
And the MPAA scratched its head.
And said, PG.
PG, is that correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I asked this question when we were watching it. If you're the MPAA, you go, is duck tits rated R, or is it just stupid? And they said, it's just stupid. This movie's still PG.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you, they got it wrong, Sam. I'm going to tell you
Did you get a semi? These duck tits work you up a little bit?
a little bit.
Oh.
Everything kind of does.
Oh, gross. He was eating those pepperoni combo things, too, while he was watching this.
The MPAA made a poor choice because the only time I have seen this movie was up until Duck Tits. And that's when it came out, my mom said, nope, turned it off.
Really?
Yep, this was a rated R movie until now. Actually, I was not allowed to watch this movie when I was a child because of Duck Tits.
It's not the only one that the MPAA had at PG that you probably didn't get to watch.
Such as,
I don't know.
Bambi.
I'm just going to... Beastmaster?
yeah, Beastmaster. I didn't get to watch that.
There you go. There's
but-
2.
Yeah. So, and Titanic,
Mm-hmm.
she's got her titties out.
You did get to watch RoboCop 3, though.
Right.
Not
Right.
1
Doesn't
or
make any
2,
sense.
Because 1 or 2 don't suck as bad.
So yeah, duck tits. They're nice.
Are they? I still and I've seen this probably 5 or 6 times now, and every time I forget about them. I'm like, oh yeah. And so I try to get my best look at the duck tits.
Should we have paused it?
What are we doing here?
Whose job is it to make the duck tits? Like, what are you doing, as an artist when you're molding duck tits?
Yeah. You probably get done with it. And the guy standing next to you is like, God damn it, Fred, those are beautiful
Those
duck
are
tits.
great duck tits.
And then the other guy's like, You guys are fucking jackasses. And then there's a woman with duck tits on that's going, I guess it beats having a real job.
And we don't even know if that's a woman in that shot.
Oh my God.
That could be a man in a duck tit outfit.
Could be a, yeah.
And he's looking down. Well, he can't even see his own duck tits because he's got a goddamn beak in the way.
He's got a whole plastic helmet on.
I always wanted to know what it was like to have duck tits, and I can't see
I
them.
can't see him. This is a furry. This is like the perfect irony of furry fantasy.
No POV for that guy.
What's POV?
Point of view. So he lands on Earth. He gets sucked into.
He goes through the monolith first.
Yeah, he goes through. He explodes the monolith,
And
or
so
his
that-
name does. I'm not real sure.
Yeah, he goes into the monolith and it becomes the credits for Howard the Dog.
Yeah, I hope David Bowman found his way back before then, but he lands on Earth in an alleyway. Dies on his way in from injury, but the alley that he crashes into is like a rough part of town, I guess.
It's outside of a club, and there's a bunch of real rough glam gang people. Yeah. Gotta watch out for those glamours.
Right.
They'll hit you with some glitter.
Yep.
Don't want a rough side of town here.
Look, have you a little bit confused with some androgyny here and there, like...
You come out of there with a really sculpted hairdo and a new dub tape of Brian Ferry. They're going to fuck your shit up.
These guys weren't scary in the least. I mean, they're just surrounding him, and then they pick him up and take him to the club. Like, yeah!
That's where I was saying. They're going to cut your hair and give you a Brian Ferry tape.
Yeah, right.
After they take you to this show.
Right.
Because that's what glam gangs do.
Yeah. So he doesn't even get to see the show, though. He just gets chucked out immediately by the bouncer. He's like, hey, we don't leave your droids outside, George. What's your deal with that? And he gets chucked out.
Yeah.
Well, they tell him no kids.
Right.
And then instead of just, if it's really a kid, right, he would just take him and push him out the door. No, he throws his ass into a dumpster.
Right. Like...
Or no, into a homeless lady's shopping cart.
Yeah, get out of here, kid, and die on your way out. So,
I know what to do with kids trying to sneak into rock shows. Hospitalize them with injury.
That'll teach them.
Very helpful, buddy. So then hijinks happen to the backdrop of Leah Thompson's band playing, which is basically just the shitty Runaways.
They're called Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, that's a little...
And when shitty Runaways is the Runaways that are all 10 years older than the Runaways.
Right, and less talented. But he's getting chased around by a biker gang that's also not tough.
It's a lady biker gang. It's Satan's girlfriends.
Satan sluts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think that they're a biker gang. I think they're just out cruising around.
They've got some big ass hair.
Yeah, well,
They're pretty glam, too.
Yeah,
they are very glam.
But they slap him off into a trash can.
Yep. And he just hangs out in there for, I guess, a couple hours.
That's an empty oil drum. And he just puts the lid on there and falls asleep. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah, this place sucks.
And, maybe it's like that on his world, too, where he's like...
You sleep in a can?
No.
Like Oscar the Grouch?
So
I have seen Canned Duck.
Yeah, I have, too. It's not that great.
Oh, really? Not like that potted meat stuff.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So what I'm talking about, though, is that, they've got to have rough neighborhoods in Duckland,
Okay.
right? And so what he knows that if he just hangs out in this trash can until the sun comes up, all the druggies will go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because they get their drugs, they get up about 1 or 2 to go hit up their dealer, they go get some pizza, they get high in a bathroom, go to some clubs, and then they pass the fuck out. So if he just waits long enough, he can wait out all the really dangerous people, get out of this thing, and then go find some decent neighborhood. Why didn't he go to some rich neighborhood and be a rich kid's pet duck? He could have worn diamonds.
You've got some odd ideas what to do
Sure.
with the plot here. How about he freaks the fuck out because he's imagine you're getting transported to Duck Planet. Actually, I think I'd kind of like it. They got duck tits.
Duck tits. Duck ginas.
I don't know. I guess we can't put in ourselves what would we do in that situation, Jackie, because it's completely ludicrous. Either way, Howard sits in this barrel until Leah Thompson's band gets done, wrapped up. She's already gone in the locker room, changed her clothes. She's coming out. Guess what? It's 1986. There's some alleyway rapists.
Yeah.
In a family movie. Cool. Right. So they're gonna. It's not even disguised what these guys are gonna do. Like, oh, mom and dad knows what's about the peril that she's like. The guy pulls his penis out and slaps her in the face with it. And
PG.
My mom is like, oh my God.
Why didn't I turn this off at the duck tits?
No, he doesn't. But come on, it's pretty rapey. And
she beats him up though.
well, Howard says, not in my alleyway that I landed
drum?
in. Yeah. I'm the master of quack foo.
Mm-hmm. Here's a joke
funny.
falling flat.
So funny.
And this is where the score really gets it behind him because John Barry that did all the James Bond scoring.
Right.
Anytime there's what I'm going to call non-action, because there's a lot of non-action in this film, the score is telling me otherwise. The score is telling me this is very exciting stuff.
Right.
Instead, I'm watching a guy hold a stuffed duck, and that's all that's happening on screen.
Well,
It's supposed to be a fight, but it's a guy holding a prop.
I thought it was great. I'm going to agree with you on this one, is that the music really does help set the scene, because there's no way, like in some of these shots, that I would have continued to, be excited about what was happening on screen if the music would not have kept it going.
It is the only thing exciting is the music.
Well, and and during the scene, you really do think like, what's the lead lady's name again?
Leah. fucking Hollywood royalty Thompson, Jackie.
Leah Thompson, in order to spice things up, jumps on one of the attackers and starts beating him up.
Yeah, she punches a guy in the face pretty good.
Yeah.
You should know her because this is her second time on here.
Indeed.
Jaws 3D.
Was she in that?
Yes, she was. We have to move on. We have a plot to get through, folks. So the fucking rapists run away, and Howard's like, so, babe, what's up with you? And she's like, well, you're a duck, and I'm a person, so I'm going to go home now. And he's like, fuck, I'm on Earth, and I got no clue where to go. And she's like, you're in Cleveland, so that even makes things worse. And he's like, they got the Browns, and that sucks.
Hey, Bernie was still playing for him at this point. They weren't that bad.
Kozar, yeah, that's true.
Kozar. They might have just got Bernie right around this time.
Anyways, he's like, fuck, I want to go back to Duck World, and I don't know how to get there. And she's like, well, you are kind of hot. So why don't you come back to my place?
There's also the beginning. This is the beginning of the dialogue that's there just to be there.
There's like only the movie.
Yeah, like the whole time. There's only so much being communicated, and they're just sort of talking to be talking.
Right.
And it's like, why are you even doing this?
Yeah. So she takes pity on him, I guess, and takes her back to his place or her place, and they get acquainted. He's like, yeah, I come from a duck world, and everything's duck branded, and we got duck shows and duck this and duck.
She tries to give him milk in a bowl,
and she's like, oh, that's cool. Here you go, you're my little pet. And he's like, I'm a person, and
I'm a man duck.
I'm a duck man, and
you get me a beer, bitch, or I'll slap you in the eyeball.
She's like, okay, well, that's neat. We'll figure this out tomorrow. And he passes out. She goes through his wallet. Like,
I would too if it fell out.
Like, it's in this duck wallet. And of course, he's got duck everything inside of there. But then he's got a fucking condom.
And it's unwrapped.
And it has something black in it.
What's he doing with the? I guess. You can't re-roll a used condom, so it's just an unwrapped condom. Yeah, it's just a condom that ain't gonna work.
Yep, this one's got a hole in it.
Maybe that's the part of the game.
Oh, he's the contemporary Johnny Appleseed of Duck World.
Yeah, he's like, sure, baby, I'm wearing a condom. Wink, wink, nudge,
I
nudge.
am. Yep.
See, it's right here. Okay, so the next day, he wakes up and they go to the museum where she's got a friend named Tim Robbins who works there, who apparently she doesn't know what he does. But anyways, she's like, he's like a science guy or something.
And that's the best way we can describe him.
Yeah.
Because it's could be anything from astrophysics to paleontology, and I think he cleans the bathroom as well.
Exactly.
He's an intern, which means his life right now is shit.
But he seems to know a lot about shit, but she doesn't know anything, so she's like, this guy will figure out a way to get you home. And he freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's not like he freaks the fuck out because there's a talking duck. He freaks the fuck out because he's like, awesome, a talking duck.
Yeah.
Everything I've always wanted has now culminated in life standing in front of me at the wonderful height of 2'3". And Tim Robbins is hilarious. I don't give a fuck.
There seems to be a lot of the direction where it's like we're talking to a stuffed duck, so you need to be twice as big as usual.
And he nails it.
He nails it. Leah Thompson gets twice as big as usual. Jeff Jones is like, fuck you, I'm Jeff Jones. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. And it works.
Tim Robbins is a masterpiece of acting and a special treat anytime he's on screen.
Even in what should anybody else doing what he's doing is career suicide.
Right, exactly.
And he's doing it anyway, and it works because he's Tim Robbins.
Like, we say this a lot, like, you take anybody, like, let's say Tommy Lee Jones, for instance, and he looks at the script and goes, you want me to do what now?
What's magma?
Yeah, and then they don't get to work anymore.
Uh-huh.
Tim Robbins looks at this as like, yeah, this is pretty stupid. I can work with this.
Yeah, this is dumb as shit. I got it.
He's hilarious. So anyways, he's like, he runs Howard through a barrage of questions, asks him if he's got superpowers, because he's from another planet.
Well, he talks to him like he doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Me, you.
Then tries duck language.
Yeah. Talks like Donald Duck.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he was funny in this.
Yeah, he's fun.
I mean, because this is the first time we really see him, right? And I thought to myself, who's this fucking doofus?
Who's this fucking
Who's
doofus?
this fucking doofus?
Hollywood royalty Tim fucking Robbins, Jackie.
I didn't know who he was.
He was married to Susan Sarandon for 30 years.
Jesus.
But then
this guy.
he started acting, and I was like, oh, I know who this is. Okay, no, I didn't. I didn't
Still don't
recognize
know
him
who
through the whole movie. I don't know why he's
She's
famous.
on a movie podcast, Sam.
Leah Thompson? Who's that?
I knew she was in Back to the Future.
But you know the guy that got convicted for taking pictures of the 14-year-old kids naked?
Yeah.
That's the one you do
Yeah.
know, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen him in Clue. I think he was in Clue.
Jeff Jones is not. in
He's
Clue.
not
No.
in Clue, no.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't really
You're
know
thinking
shit.
of Colonel Mustard, who is
Martin Mull.
Martin Mull. Thank you. Nice. 2 points, Sam.
Hey.
Nice.
It was a solid jump shot from 20 out. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've established that I don't know squat, let's continue with the plot.
Yeah. All right. Good thing. All right. So Howard's like, no, you're not doing any of this. You're not helping me. You're a wacko. I'm leaving. So he's like, fuck you. Goes outside. Lee's like, no, stick around, Howard. We want to help you. And he's like, you know what, lady, you're not any help. Why don't you fuck off for a bit?
Oh, man, these dialogue sequences, like, I don't need any of you anymore. I just need to find some help. It's that all the time.
Right.
It's just like sentences that betray themselves constantly.
Right. Oh, here's the middle of the sentence. We better contradict what was at the beginning of it.
Or sometimes they'll be like, okay,
There's 4 words in this sentence,
let's
George.
get 3 sentences out, and then we'll put 3 sentences after that completely erase the 3 sentences before.
It's like it's a double negative loop, Sam, no, I got nothing.
I have no idea why they do this in almost every scene, and he talks to himself about it.
Right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, he knows he needs to get a job.
No, he doesn't. He needs to go the fuck back to Leah Thompson's house and just hang out for a while. Like, honestly, he needs to get his head straight. Like,
Sure.
I'm
He's
gonna
a
sit
self-made
down-
man.
What?
He's a self-made duck. He doesn't need a handout, Justin. He can go out and get a job.
Why does he need a job? That's the stupid thing is that contradicts the entire plot, Jackie. You're making a joke, but I'm not. It contradicts the fucking plot of the movie. He's like, I guess I live here now. In an instant, he makes this decision, says fuck you to everybody who's ever he's come in contact with that isn't out to hurt him, and says, I'm going to live in this place that wants to murder me now.
Mm-hmm. So he goes to the unemployment office.
Which is like going to the DMV.
Yeah. But a little known thing is they've got a ringer in there that can get anybody a job. Right. She just tells him what is up. And so what he does is he decides that he's going to just eat her butt.
He's going to bite into her butt.
And it doesn't look like he's going to do it maliciously. He's like, I would like my bill to be in that butt right now.
He looks at her like, lady, you're in my face too much, and you're loud, and you're telling me my business. And then she turns around, and he's like, wow.
He's like, that is a big butt, and I want my whole head inside of it.
I think that's stuff I should do.
He's going to motorboat that butt.
I don't know. But I think it's not going to end well if he makes contact.
No.
I think she breaks his fucking neck.
Oh, absolutely. But she's good, and she knows that everybody else is after that ass, too. Right?
This ain't my first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly.
On my back
so
end.
she's just like, whoop, here's your fucking assignment, and just puts his new job right in his bill there.
Yeah. So weird. Very weird scene.
That's probably, on revisit, that is now my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. More than duck tits? Okay.
Yes, I'm still
You're the only
perplexed
one
by duck
that's
tits.
being weird about the duck tits. Like, oh, yeah, baby. You know, if he asks to keep the DVD overnight, will you just fucking take it home with you? Because I don't want to wake up at 2 a.m. with him being down here, like, reversing the duck tit scene.
I'm going to go on duckhub.com.
You're gonna go up later, and he's gonna have a pocket knife, and he's gonna be trying to cut into one of the down pillows. You're like, no, I'm not. Get that hot glue gun back in the closet, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God, Justin.
There's
That pillow cost us $25.
You're going to look under the stairs one day, and there's going to be a duck tit shrine in there.
All these pillows that I thought the dogs had eaten and you had to throw away.
Just pictures of ducks on the wall for comparison, and you're like, I need to kill my husband.
But it's done by you, so it's just like Barbie dolls hot glued together.
Exactly.
With feathers everywhere. Like, that's grotesque and strange.
Yeah, it's like my Buffalo Bob room, you know? Instead of putting my wiener between my legs, I put some feathers on my chest to dance around. Yeah, look at me.
Quack, quack.
Skin suits are for pussies. I want a feather suit.
That's when he's like, oh, you're going to TJ Maxx today? Could you pick up some more fellow pillows? The dog ate the last set.
Yeah, I'm down at the park talking to ducks and be like, can you help me lift this couch into my van, duck?
Follow the breadcrumbs, baby.
I have a real hard time capturing ducks. And then eventually Jodie Foster has to shoot me because I'm insane. I guess Buffalo Bob was pretty fucking nuts too, you know?
He was more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, no. Just on duck tits.
You know, but if you do kill a duck for its feathers, do me a favor and throw the duck up in the freezer so I can cook it later.
Right, yeah.
Because duck is quite delicious.
Well, I'm keeping the breasts.
Oh, God.
All right, so anyways, he gets a job from this lady
At a bathhouse.
It's not a bathhouse.
What is it?
It's a hot tub bang place.
Yeah.
That's not a bathhouse because a bathhouse is like just one big bath.
I guess. I don't know what this place is.
Where you know,
It's a place for horrors.
there's individual rooms with bathtubs inside of them, or with hot tubs inside of them.
People are banging.
You get hookers at.
I guess.
Or maybe just ladies, like, hey, you want to go on a date at the bathhouse?
Either way, this place has been hooked up with the Department of Labor.
Right. And there is clearly prostitution happening here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. If you were a prostitute, would you rather go into a hot tub place and pay by the hour, or would you rather go to a skeezy hotel room? At least if you're in the hot tub place, you can kind of get their junk washed off.
Or maybe, like, it doesn't work very well because you can't really screw in a hot tub. I don't know if you ever tried that, but I have, and it doesn't really work. And they're like, well, you owe me for the hour anyways. No penetration and all the cash.
Wow, you're not very good at that.
Yeah, it doesn't work, dude. Water is a not good lubricant. It's very not viscous.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Go on,
Yeah,
please.
you're trying to be cute and funny. Water is one of the least viscous things on the planet. Like, there's pizza and then water.
Pizza.
Great comparison.
No, I think you can have sex and pizza.
You're right.
It's got a
Water's
lot of
worse.
grease on there.
Water's worse.
Gotta order the mitza.
I'll give that pizza the pizza.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this movie is going so downhill.
All right. Well, duck tits. I mean, you start a movie with duck tits, it's gonna get weird. So he's like, dude, this place sucks, and quits.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hates it so bad. I mean, sure, his boss is kind of a jerk, but you're a duck, Howard. Like, what's your credentials to not work
You're a duck,
at
man.
this place?
Man.
I mean, what's on your resume that makes you so fucking high and mighty?
He did that advertisement for
Well,
that
you-
cologne.
Oh, really? Where's that at? I've never heard of that before.
So he could have done that again, though.
Like, gotten...
He should have gone on to be in Mad Men.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah, why not? Or writing soap operas, and you could combine this movie with Delirious, and it wouldn't be as good as Delirious.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he could write soaps. All right, so anyway, so he quits. He
Goes back to the part of the plot that we were at 20 minutes ago.
right for the, yeah, he's at the punk bar where he starts out. I guess he's down like glum and stuff, and ends up there, and he sees Leah Thompson. He's like, you know what? She was pretty nice. I should fall in love with her. And there's those.
Wait, this sounds a lot like when you met me and you were like, I only moved in with you because I was going to be homeless.
Okay, that's a story for another time. Not on a podcast that goes out to the internet. Hey, so
Start over then and we'll just cut that out.
So the guys from the beginning of the movie, the rapists, are there and they're trying to buy her.
These are different guys.
I don't know if
Yes, they are. They're
Okay.
different guys. But
Yeah.
so now what has happened is that he's gone into their next performance at the same bar that they play at all the time, and Howard's catching wind of the fact that their manager is basically just trying to prostitute them rather than use them as a musical act.
And he's taking their money every time
Yeah.
that they perform.
right, but it's not prostitution, it's kidnapping, because if it was prostitution, she has to be like, yeah, sure, I'll bang these guys and you get a cut and I get a cut. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to play that with these other two that they're going to get to bang the band.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
The only way that it would work is like, yeah, I give you permission to kidnap and rape these women.
And whose permission is that to give, sir?
Manager.
I don't believe that's in the contract.
You're fired. So Howard's like, no, come on, dude, you're a total fucking dick, and beats the shit out of these guys.
Then John Barry's music comes back and tells us that this is very exciting.
Yeah, so then he goes into the dressing room after they're done. Tim Robbins comes in as well, and she's like, Howard, oh, Tim Robbins, gross.
He has pizza and beer.
Yeah.
And another item. Mm-hmm. There's another thing that never. It's like there's some more food there, Tim. What is it? And you never find out.
Nope. But apparently he's dating the redhead in the band.
Yeah, sort
She's
of.
either the bass. No, I think she's the other guitarist, isn't she?
I thought she was a drummer.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
She's
matter.
the bass player. Who knows?
Who knows?
So she's like, oh, Howard, I'm really glad to see you. I am totally in love with you, but I'm gonna play it cool. You're duck. I'm gonna play cool, and I wanna play a little hard to get for you. And Tim Robbins is like, I don't want to play hard to get. Give me that butt, and steals Howard's feathers.
Yeah. There's also a point where Howard and Tim Robbins are measured against each other on who's doing a worse job dating.
Yeah, right.
A janitor that's too tall or an alien duck. It's your choice.
Wow,
like
that's like the
this-
worst show of that's like the worst episode of the dating game that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, or maybe this is like where Sex in the City spawns is from this
Right,
scene right here.
right,
Like,
right.
Oh my God, this is almost like Howard the Duck. Isn't that right? Kim Cattrall.
I'd do him.
I loved you in Big Trouble in Little China.
All right, so they kick Tim Robbins out for being a weirdo, and Leah Thompson's like, "Come on back to my place again. We'll try round 2." And then they attempt to have sex in front of us, and it is one of the weirdest scenes ever in the history of film.
Mm-hmm.
It's uncomfortably weird.
It gets worse because the weirdness of the lady and the duck is only eclipsed by scientists just walking in on them without knocking or anything.
Hey, you guys fucking in there?
Yeah.
We're trying to. Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. Hey, scientists.
It's not in a gaggy sort of way, like, you know, they have some sort of connection that gets explained to us. It's just she falls instantly in love with him and wants to, like, have, I mean, not to imply more bestiality, but she wants to have monkey sex with him. She wants to get freaky deaky. Like, she's got it, like, yeah, whatever happens, man, let's go.
Uh-huh.
You can poop on me.
Well, I mean, fuck, she left the door open. You don't know when a hobo with a sandwich is going to come in.
Oh, there's always a hobo and sandwich in there.
That's round 2.
And then the homeless guy.
Round 3 is when we prove that you can have sex in pizza.
So they come in, the science guys, and they're like, yeah, this feather that we stole off of you, it matches this other feather. Turns out we teleported you here. Sorry about that. But, you know, we're going to teleport you back.
Maybe.
After some dialogue that we're going to skip.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So he's like, sweet, dude, cool, let's go. And Leah Thompson's like, oh, well, you need to go back to Duck World because, let's face it, you're a duck, and I don't know how this is going to work out. And he's like, cool, babe, whatever, bye.
And I saw the size of that condom. And
Yes.
And the mold that was apparently growing inside.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's been a while, Jackie. You know. Not everybody can get duck tits. So they drive back to the lab. And unfortunately, the space laser that teleported him here has exploded.
It's malfunctioned again. Let's just say that.
Jeffrey Jones has juiced it a little too hot or something because he got vaporized and now it's all bad and Howard can't go home and that sucks. But
which means that what happened in between scenes is that Jeff Jones's character, the doctor's like, okay, well, we got to figure out how to get Howard the Duck back to Duck Planet, whatever that is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run as fast as I can into that lab and push every button and just see and just you know, fuck it, whatever. And what was I doing again? That's
exactly
what happened.
That is what happened, literally.
Science.
And not to mention he took a separate car and drives faster. I don't know. I don't
He
know how
does.
that works.
He went there in an ultralight.
Yeah, right.
Actually, went there in an ambulance after he crashed the ultralight. And ambulances don't have to stop at stoplights, so they can get there fast.
So the cops show up because the place is, I guess, is blowing up, and so the cops are like, freeze, explosion.
Like,
Man, I don't know what they're doing there.
scientific facility. I hear some noises. That's probable cause. All right, everybody, let's go.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah. And then the detective that's there is like, yeah, we got to go in here, even though I don't totally want to or anything. Because he's the whole time he's like, oh, God damn it, not this again. Like, well, why'd you get everybody down here, Steve?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, you need hazmat guys or like scientists. You can't just send a bunch of cops into an exploding science facility.
Yeah, and then he also has this attitude that he doesn't want to be there. But now that we're here, you know, cuff everybody, and if anybody backtalks you, just fucking shoot them.
Yeah, right. Well, so it's like real world.
Real LAPD
Yeah.
in 1986.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's not the LAPD. It's Cleveland.
Cleveland, they were nicer, I thought.
I don't know. Anyways, they arrest Howard the Duck for being a duck. For being an illegal alien.
Yeah.
Well, first they strip search him,
Right.
trying to take the costume off of him.
Sir, he's got duck balls. Sir. Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, what? His testes. He has them.
The balls from a duck.
But he's a duck and he has testes. Yes. This is not what I thought when I joined the force.
Do you think that his duck pee-pee is like a dog's?
Well, I would assume it's like a duck's.
Well, you know, he doesn't have
You walked
wings.
right into that one.
Oh, my God, never mind.
That's one of those things like, what is a duck's genitalia like? Do I care?
I honestly have no idea.
And I'm not going to look it up later because I just don't care.
You know, you knew where she was going, Sam. Hey, Howard the Duck is the movie this week. Oh, God, she's going to ask about duck chunk.
Your friend Brody has an unnatural fascination with superhero genitalia.
So they assault the cop that arrested him, steal his gun. Comedy ensues. He runs around. They bump into Ed Rooney, and he's not vaporized.
Mm-hmm.
He basically the explosion has given him a brain cloud.
He's
eating some bad chicken.
Yeah.
He looks like he's gotten some burns and he's concussed.
Yeah, right. He's got the brain pain. So they steal his car and they drive around to escape, but Ed Rooney's all mixed up and he eventually drives off the road and crashes almost into a Cajun sushi restaurant.
Yeah, that's on the highway?
Would a Cajun sushi restaurant just serve crawdads? Like raw crawdads? That's it?
Do you think they had sushi in Ohio in 1986?
Cajun sushi.
Cajun sushi.
Is it sushi from Louisiana, or is it just like real sushi that has like some Cajun seasoning on
Or
top
some of
it?
that lovely fish from the 80s in the Great Lakes.
With Cajun seasoning on it.
Yeah, which is motor oil.
Right. Huh. I don't know.
Well, when they walk in, too, they're playing country music.
Yeah, it's a weird place.
And then all of a sudden, Howard the Duck has a bolo tie on.
Right.
Like, where did you get that?
Where did he get any of his clothes?
He's always showing up in... That's... Oh, if you watch the document or the... If you ever have the stomach to watch this with the commentary on, they get real excited about the costumes. Now he's wearing this. Oh, he's wearing this now. It's
He's
like,
a
you
little
can't
duck man.
And at one point, he addresses the fact that he's always wearing something different by saying that he robbed the youth section of the Goodwill or something like that.
And he's our hero?
Yeah.
Okay. Stealing clothing from the poor. Cool.
Well, he's himself poor.
I guess that's true. But
And
you still
destitute.
shouldn't steal it.
No.
You got to
So-
pay for that, Howard.
I don't know. I mean, if you're poor and you go into the Goodwill and you're stealing stuff, I think you should just let them. You got it for free.
You let them what?
Steal the shit.
You say that people should be able to steal shit from Goodwill.
The Goodwill actually is there to sell those clothes so they can give clothes to the poor people.
Right. I don't think you know why it's called Goodwill, not Evil Jackie Will.
I think
if you were
if you
in charge,
needed it and it's a Goodwill, then you should be able to go in there and take what you need.
if you were in charge, this would be Bartertown.
We've got your woman, Outlander.
Yeah, it would be. You'd be like singing.
She stole our clothes.
Tina Turner does, and then everyone would have a fucked up life, and we'd have to fight each other to the death for your
Right.
amusement.
Yeah, and then eventually gets sucked up into the clouds on Celebration Day or whatever that's called on
Carousel?
Yeah, Carousel. Jackie would not be a good leader of. It would be. She hates PA films, and she would cause the PA film to happen.
Welcome to the Goodwill. If we catch you stealing, go right ahead. What? But just know that you're stealing from other poor people, you son of a bitch.
In fact, you're all in here together, and we've locked the doors. Who
Gas
will
'em!
make it out with the sweater? Master Blaster rules Bartertown.
Win a $50 gift certificate if you're the last one standing.
Jesus Christ.
30 poor people enter. 30 poor people leave with clothes
And black eyes.
and black eyes.
Like, I'm laughing because I'm a terrible person.
I am a terrible person. Everybody already knows this. I've been doing this podcast for a long time. If you haven't caught on
Yeah.
yet, I'm sorry.
We have to move.
So Howard's still at the diner.
Yeah, this Cajun sushi place.
Yeah. Dr. Jennings is starting to really say some things that don't make sense.
So he has gotten one of the dark overlords of the universe beamed into his body,
Yeah.
where a transformation is taking place not a like oh god, now I'm blanking.
Xenomorph?
Yeah, a xenomorph is going to explode out of his tummy.
Well, when you're sliding into first and you feel something burst.
What?
Diarrhea.
God damn it.
It's so he's transforming.
Internally,
I don't know how this is working.
something is, well, it says explicitly in the dialogue that the overlords of the universe cannot exist on Earth outside of a human body, and we have to remember that for later.
Right, but like is this like a caterpillar inside of a cocoon type scenario?
It seems like that.
Yeah, but
very
it's
much.
just taking over his body and making his body grody.
He's giving him this voice.
Yeah, right.
I'm now evil, bro. Go, no. I'll have the eggs. Meow.
Anyways, yeah, he's gonna take over the world, I guess.
Sure. And meanwhile, there's a waitress with a great rack, some bad jokes, and the locals just decide that they're going to carve up Howard.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, he's a duck.
that's a duck, man, alien thing.
But they don't.
Let's eat him.
Yeah, he's not. It's not a duck. He's not a duck. He has conversations with him. He's a sentient being, and they're like, chop his fucking head off.
Yeah, they really missed an opportunity here, though.
To chop his fucking head off.
No, they should have tried to do an ultimate turducken duck, where they put turducken inside of Howard and then deep fry the whole thing.
What would that be?
Howard Turducken.
Oh, his middle name. Hi, I'm Howard Turducken.
Yeah,
Duck.
duck.
All right. So he's the Dark Lord of the Universe is going to use the laser to beam back his other Dark Lords of the Universe to Earth so that they can then
Be a math metal band, as far as I know.
Yeah, right. What are they going to do here?
Dark Lords of the Universe.
Why is it if you're a Dark Lord of the Universe, the only way you can have power is if you're inside of people? And not just like sentient beings, humans.
Humans, you have to get inside one and then turn them into something else, maybe?
I don't fucking know.
Well, he eventually has to save Howard from the new mob that's going to eat this sentient being that they don't know what it is. Mostly just because he has the key card. One of them has the key card
to the laser.
Get back to the laser or whatever. So there's a lot of audio and visual effects that start happening right now.
Yes. Jeff Jones starts glowing and shooting basically what the Ghostbusters used to capture ghosts with.
His specific effect in this one is I have not really ever seen. So there's an animation, there's like hand animated lightning, but there's like a warp disc that pops out of it too. It's actually really fucking cool.
No, I like these.
And I've never seen anybody else do it afterwards, probably because they're like, that's really fucking cool, but they did it in Howard and the Duck, so I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
They end up really just sort of having this nonsense, very exciting sounding score.
Right.
Visual effects, some dialogue that doesn't really make any sense, and then all of a sudden, Jeff Jones is going diesel trucking.
Yeah.
He kidnaps Leah Thompson.
Because he's got to warp his bros into her.
And he says, I need your body for another one of the Dark Lords of the Universe. But there seems to be more than one, and he really only has one body there. And
Right.
It really just feels like it's a race. Just like in the Goodwill. Only one body, only one guy's going to survive.
yeah.
Yeah. I get to go first. I get to be inside of this woman first.
Or maybe there's such a thing as a demon spirit gangbang. I'm not sure.
That's what, it's kind of...
It's heading there.
It's heading there.
It's heading there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really weird undertones in this film.
The police have made it to the diner.
Yeah, right.
They're ready
right.
to shoot everybody again.
Then they've brought Tim Robbins there. Like,
Yeah. They didn't arrest him. They're just bringing him around with them.
Why was he even arrested? He didn't get arrested on screen. It's just now he's in a cop car and he's been arrested.
I think the main cop was like, handcuff everybody, and anybody that asks questions, shoot them.
That's it. So he's like, Howard, come here, break me out of this car, even though he breaks himself out of it. And then they find the ultralight.
Well, there's also a very good line of dialogue here.
Oh.
Yes, he's like, it's almost dawn. And he says that because the footage we have next is during the day, and we
Yeah.
got to do something to transition this.
Man. Oof. Just do a George Lucas wipe. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they find the ultralight. They go up in the air. Cops are following them. Cops are fucking shooting at them.
Yeah. Well, the cop says, you know what? I've had it with this. There's been maybe an accident at a scientific place. There's a lot of chili on the floor here. You need to shoot that motherfucking duck.
Kill them.
Dead
Kill-
or alive,
fucking
preferably
kill them.
dead.
Yeah, use the big gun.
Yeah, we shoot people. and
Sir,
ducks.
have they committed any crimes worth murdering them for? Nope.
No, it's duck hunting season. Fuck them.
Right.
Oof.
It is literally. Do they have that little giggling dog that you want to also shoot because he's an asshole? You know, from Duck Hunt, a fucking dog.
Did you know that you could control the ducks with the second controller?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
To be an asshole.
And how do you do? Oh, to like fuck with your brother and sister?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, dude, Nintendo, we got a dog laughing at us. Meanwhile, your brother and sister are over there going, he's probably a crack shot and he thinks he sucks. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Why am I just now hearing about this?
Yeah. Oh,
I
man.
could have ruined so many people's lives.
Right. Nintendo secrets.
It's what they get for trying to stand all the way up to the next to the TV and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually makes it harder.
It does
you
make it
stupids.
Okay, so Jeff Jones' character, whatever his name is, Dr.
Jennings.
Rosen, he now needs power to be a dark overlord. So
He spent a bunch of electricity. His batteries are low.
okay, all right. So he needs to go into a nuclear power plant
Yeah.
and step into the reactor.
Rather than just stand on the side of it that puts the electricity into the grid, he goes into the reactor.
Or just like bite into a power line.
Sure.
You know, that's a pretty good idea.
Well, he did stick his tongue into, or a tentacle or something, into the lighter hole in the truck. So
Yeah.
that's where I thought this was going. He's just going to get real close to it, find a plug-in.
It's my understanding that inside the reactor, there's not electricity, just a giant fucking explosion.
No, it's water mostly.
Right.
'Cause it's a fucking steam
Yeah,
engine
right.
usually.
Yeah, exactly.
So none of this is real or whatever. Well, but none of this Howard the Duck
Yeah, this
business is real. They really screwed up with the nuclear reactor in
Get your
this,
fucking physics
in
out
this,
of my... You know,
this movie with a talking duck.
there's a bunch of goofs in it.
Yeah. I just don't like it when they fool with science like that. Yeah.
All right, so he's now super juiced up.
And he's got a mustache now
Yeah.
Yes.
and Einstein hair. Mm-hmm. And bad teeth.
Wario.
Yeah, but Dr. Robotnik too.
Yeah, he's more
Yeah.
Dr. Robotnik.
Einstein more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Einstein with really thinning hair. Like,
He has Wario's voice. That's what you're
Yeah.
mixing up. He's almost kind of Wario, but he has Wario's voice.
Wario has a broken tooth too, and he does have the bad teeth.
Yeah. It's a me, Wario. I'll steal your girlfriend. Oh, wait, she's already been stolen.
It's me, Wario. I am the representation of the Nintendo Corporation running out of ideas.
Not yet. It's me, Waluigi. Now we're out of ideas. All right, so anyways, speaking of running out of ideas, now they've got hot chicks in the Super Smash Brothers based off of Mario people. Bowser has a sister, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's also the
Bowsette. Have you seen the
Yeah,
have you seen the Bowsette?
I've seen the thing.
Yeah, she's like stacked and a human person with
Well-
with horns.
There's also a problem because there's the crown now that turns anybody into a princess, sort of.
Oh,
And then,
so it's
What's worse
Bowsette
than-
is actually Bowser.
yeah, I think so.
Oh no!
And then what's worse than that is that Reddit got a hold of it, and so now they're like, well, you know what? Let's do some memes. And they're like, you know what? Memes of Nintendo princesses need D-cups.
Yeah, right.
D-cups everywhere.
And it's Bowser.
Yeah, with D-cups. And you're like, I feel really bad right now, but I would bone the shit out of Bowser.
Capture me again, Bowser.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch her in the Mario Kart.
Take me to level 8.4.
He's like, oh my God, this guy again?
Mario found the warp zone.
Yeah, it's in his pants. He can't get down the pipes because he's got a boner.
Oh my God.
Hey, is that a sex bomb?
Oh, Sex Bomb is awesome.
Yeah, sex bomb is awesome. Okay, so anyways, back at this movie. Where the fuck are we?
So he's
Have they got to the
now.
lab yet?
No, now we're having the greatest chase in history involving cars chasing an ultralight.
Yeah.
And the ultralight, Howard decides that he can fly.
Uh-huh.
He gets to the confidence.
Yeah, he get remember your instincts, duck man.
Yeah, and so he goes after the duck hunters.
Right.
Just like, I'm going to freelance for a little bit. I know we've got a long way to go and not a lot of time to get there.
Yeah, we're literally racing a big rig.
Uh-huh. But I'm going to just, go dive bomb all of these duck hunters for a while.
Yeah, he's like Howard the Duck turns into your little brother laughing with the controller.
Yeah.
Speaking of Waluigi, the little asshole. All right, so eventually they get to the lab, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's there after Jeff Jones' character killed a bunch of guys. And they've got Leah strapped to the laser. Howard and Tim Robbins are like, we got to stop him with the neutron disintegrator.
Uh-huh.
But where did we keep that? Let's go find it.
It's in a closet that's locked.
Yeah.
So Howard kicks it open,
Right. Okay.
making you wonder why he didn't just kick everyone's head off anytime that they just...
Indeed.
Because that's the force is like knocking a human's head off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So they strap it to a golf cart rather than just walking it out
Sure.
there and shooting him in the face with it.
Yeah. And then it's also got an attachment to it that it's some of the cases for the light kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snuck that in there like we weren't going to notice. There's a couple of 1Ks go in that. It's a light. It's a nice case for lights. Lights that make movies.
The best boy is laughing his way to Lazy Town.
You're like, we're out of shit. Just put this in there and put an orange button on it. No one will know.
Oh, I thought you were implying like the best boy was like, I don't have to carry these from one side of the set to the
No.
other. Just put them on the golf cart.
No, they just use some of the casing for the equipment in
Yeah.
building this prop.
Yeah. All right. So it's on a golf cart. There's hijinks again. It's driving itself around. It crashes. Howard gets on the laser and shoots Dr.
They have a showdown.
Kind of.
It's an old west high noon. They do the high noon shot and everything. Like
right.
he puts his hands out like he's gonna draw, but he's drawing magic
From his eyeballs.
and his hands.
And Howard's the one that has a gun, but Howard's like,
I'm gonna play chicken with this guy that's gonna shoot
I'm
me
going
with
to run
his
his
hands.
fucking ass over with my golf cart.
Yeah, but
While he's shooting lasers at me that explode everything.
uh-huh. And eventually he decides to use the gun.
Why doesn't he just shoot him?
I don't know.
Like, from a while ago. Like, shoot him. Why do you need the golf cart at all?
That gun is heavy.
It's too big. He's a little duck. He does hold it like a
Then give
bazooka
it,
later.
give it to Tim Robbins and be like, can you shoot that guy?
He's not good at shooting.
He's not the star of the show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's Howard the Duck, not the tall guy and the duck.
This battle sequence just makes no sense. But either way, it causes a feedback loop and explodes the powers. I
So
don't know.
he shoots the monster out of Jeff Jones.
Yeah,
Dr.
pretty much.
Jennings is now Dr. Jennings again.
Yeah.
But that means that the overlord of the universe, is now somewhere in the room, even though that can't happen as according to the dialogue from earlier.
And also, there's no place to put this Dark Overlord, but he seems to have found a secret room under the stairs and explodes out of it, and he's a stop-motion animated monster.
I like the monster.
You like
I
the
don't
design?
think it fits in the movie at all,
Doesn't.
but I like it.
Yeah, he's grody guy. He's got like little scorpion legs and a snake body and a big giant mouth that has tons of teeth in it, and then 2 arms where his hands can shoot tentacles out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clear, everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
He can also shoot freeze rays out of his tail.
True.
Because he does.
Yep.
He freezes Leah Thompson and Tim Robbins.
I don't know what he does to them.
They're frozen.
They aren't just frozen, Sam. They're sparkly and translucent and appear to be fading away as time goes on.
Huh. Yeah. So that's what his tail does.
Is he like teleporting them? Well, I mean, they're frozen. They can't move. Got that, but something else is happening.
Yeah.
Or is he erasing them from existence?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, no, because he's got to put them back on the table once he wins.
He needs those people.
He doesn't.
But he doesn't.
exists in reality now, and it shows us a shot of his friends coming, and they look just like him. So they're probably just going to show up, and it's going to be like a bro down with a bunch of fleshy rhino scorpion things.
Right. And what do they do once they get here? Like,
High
what's
five.
the problem here? I mean, honestly.
They're going to high five and go to the gym.
Well, they come out or they go out and they're like, we're monsters. And then a fucking guy with a fucking shotgun, that cop that wants to shoot everybody, shoots them and they're dead.
Oh, that guy wouldn't make it.
Oh?
He's too lazy.
Yeah. He's not going to get over there.
He doesn't have a positive attitude. Steven Seagal would take these guys down because he's got a superior attitude and a superior state of mind.
Right.
That's why him and his friend are going to win, even though his friend dies in the next
I
scene.
just don't know what these monsters are going to do.
Take over the world
How?
and destroy it.
By stomping around and being,
Yeah.
Well, maybe their crap
really
is
dumb.
toxic.
they're crap.
Yeah,
They're
he's-
like, I'm going to crap in all the water supplies, and then you fuckers won't have anything to drink.
I think we can shoot them.
they spit acid.
I think the human like Independence Day was pretty close. Like it could have gone either way, guys. Let's be honest. I mean, we got Will Smith over there punching aliens, but those aliens were pretty fucking tough. I think we can take these guys down. I think humans win without Will Smith. Like I think we could just shoot him.
Well, he does get defeated by a duck. Now, spoiler alert.
I mean, honestly, the Dark Lords of the Universe kind of suck.
Their band is okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Howard just shoots him with the fucking disintegrator and disintegrates him, and then he blows up the space laser with the disintegrator as well.
And they went ahead and did the exact same satellite exploding shot from fucking Return of the Jedi.
Indeed.
Same angle.
Yeah.
It is different thing blowing up, but it's the same. I think they actually did it that way so they could recycle the mat explosion.
Maybe. Yeah. So Howard can't go home now. That was his one-way transporter. I guess it can never be rebuilt, or he couldn't just walk over there and push the off button.
He burned the plans to it.
Yeah, pretty much. So what's the only thing that they can do? Have a rock concert.
Fucking rock.
Going from dive bar band to selling out a stadium.
Right, which implies that her band has succeeded somehow, which I would think, well, okay, how would we justify this in the plot of the film? Oh, they're using Howard the Duck. Like, fans go nuts because they see Howard the Duck. They got a duck in this band that can talk and play the guitar. He's not part of the show. He's in back of the set. And like, whoops, it's just by hyjinx that he ends up on the stage at the end.
Yeah, he's the band's manager, and all of a sudden Tim Robbins is now the stage
Roadie guy.
Roadie.
the stage manager. So
Right.
he's like, oh, lights here, pull this string.
Howard, what have you done?
Yeah.
And then runs out and throws a red guitar on him. Like, here you go, buddy.
And their number one jam is called Howard the Duck. But again, Howard the Duck is not part of the show.
Until he's part of the show.
Until accident. It's not supposed to happen. Get out of here, Howard.
It can't be an accident. They hand him a duck-sized guitar.
I mean, he's like, what?
Whoops, oh my, I fell into the show and now I've been handed a guitar.
You think it's all part of the plan?
Yeah, this is sort of like the part when in the Metallica show when the rigging starts falling over in the explosions and you think they're actually being hurt, but it's just part of the show.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
When the duck shows up during the duck song, yeah, it's part of the show.
Touche. Good points here. All right. That's credits. That's the end of that shit. Who wants to go first on questions?
Well, we also have to mention in that rock scene,
Oh, do we?
you can see the bottom of Leah Thompson's boob for a second. So you can,
Okay, all right. Let's
that's
go back and check that out again.
important.
Yep, good.
relevant information that the people need.
Alrighty. Who wants to ask a question first?
Oh, I've got one.
Yep.
So why put her, Leah Thompson, in a very short skirt for all of her action scenes, and then have her squat down and show the camera her crotch?
Why do you think?
repeatedly?
Duh, of course.
So that people get boners.
Right. Like, you're questioning why the sex object is being sex object-y.
Yeah, the male gaze is definitely focused on Leah Thompson for this entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, what's your question? Like, is that cool? Probably not. But
I just wanted to know if anybody else noticed it,
yes,
I guess.
Of course,
yeah.
of course, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, she's showcased. Watch Jaws 3 again. Whoosh.
Hoi.
I have a Leah Thompson question. It's probably the one that everybody wants to know, or at least part of it. Does she orgasm?
Why wouldn't she?
Well, how? How does it work?
He has the four fingers, if nothing else, right?
He's got feather fingers. Do you think she really wants?
Well, the inside of him seemed fleshy.
Okay, all right.
Maybe he gives a little duckalingus.
I don't think he can.
With the duck bills, too big.
Yeah, it's too big. You would end up like maybe hurting something. You can't use a duck bill on a lady part.
Well, I guess that's a question for science to decide.
And let's face it, his penis is tiny. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Huh. Love
Are you
finds a way.
jealous?
No, I'm just wondering,
the duck?
like, how does this work out? Because I mean, she's like, rawr, rawr, but I don't think he's equipped. I don't think he's capable.
You know, it'll work out well enough. I'm sure.
Does it, Sam? Because if I know one thing about relationships and women in general, it's really easy for them to have an orgasm, you fucking overconfident bastard. They've faked everyone in your life, Sam. That's just how
what
it works.
happened?
Yep, that's how
Why
it
you
works.
guess the internet's right. If you don't have a giant penis, you should throw yourself off a building.
Oh my God.
Wait, that's what the internet says? Uh-oh. All right. I think there's difficulties there, at least.
Well,
they might need some therapy.
Sure.
A little bit of Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the Swedish penis pump.
Do not insert duck penis. That's right on the side.
It doesn't. Yeah,
Human use only.
On feathers.
All right. Who else?
Is this a kids movie?
No. I mean, I wasn't allowed to watch it. That's the
Sure.
thing. I mean, I'm the proof
I'm
of
not
the pudding.
no. Just because you guys couldn't get past the duck tits doesn't mean everybody else saw. I saw this when I was a kid.
Yeah, but you also
I
got
did
to
too.
fucking watch Rambo and shit. when
Yeah,
you
I know,
were
and that's
8.
what I'm saying is that like you're the exception to the rule, not us. In those situations,
I think we're both polar extremes. You got to watch whatever you wanted to watch. I didn't get to watch anything.
Yeah, 2 of 3 of us got to watch this when we were kids.
Yeah.
It was marketed for children. It was
I think
PG.
I think it is.
Everything that George Lucas makes
Yeah.
is in his eyes for children.
Yeah.
Now, what's
American Graffiti and THX 1138.
funny is that someone actually point blanked Gloria Katz with this question, and she did not answer it.
I don't know.
Because that's the truth. They don't know if it is or isn't. When they got done with this, because Howard the Duck is a very adult comic, and then they ended up
Right.
making half of a kids movie, nobody involved with this movie knows whether they made a kids movie or not.
Exactly. There's so much innuendo, and it's not really tongue-in-cheek innuendo like, oh, your parents got that one. It's like, that lady fucked a duck.
And this leads
The
in,
kids know they had sex.
which is actually a term of screwing up, isn't it? Like, oh, you fucked the duck that time.
Right?
Now, that leads directly into my question. Is it for anybody?
Us? I mean, that's the ultimate question. If there's a market, it's going to be somebody in this room. And as Leah Thompson said at the end of the movie in the special feature, she said, this movie's for people who are told that movie sucks. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to like it in spite of you.
Yeah.
Which is
Because you
not-
have to.
Then you're not liking it. You're
No.
liking spite. You can't like something for spite. It's impossible. You're just being a dick. I'm going to go write my screenplay on this typewriter.
Sure.
You're just being arbitrary.
Or contrarian.
Yeah. Or contrarian. Thank you. That's arbitrarily contrarian. Fuck no.
It's really just because it doesn't know who it's for, it can't be for anyone. They don't know. When asked point blank, the one person that would be able to tell you if it's a kid's movie or not went blank.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
It's not a kid's movie.
It's not an adult movie either. It's not for anyone.
Yeah, it's not for anyone. Dead people?
It's for Justin's.
Well, the duck tits are.
The duck tits. He's
Well,
like,
yeah,
"Grr."
one tiny
I
frame.
think
of
that's
this movie.
another weird thing about this movie is that you can find like he likes that. I like. There's a bunch of stuff I do like in here that I would like. I like that special effect. I really like the ultralight sequence. None of it is ever enough.
Right. I've got a weird one.
Sure.
If we laser beamed characters from TV's The Dinosaurs show, if we got them over here,
Yeah.
would they eat us? Because they live in a human world or a dinosaur version. It's exactly like Duck World.
Well, so if they came over here, we'd just shoot them.
Dinosaurs.
If we
Rubber dinosaurs.
went over there, they'd eat us.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
That's
So
how that
the other
works.
way, all right.
well, we'd throw a net on it if it was here.
Right, yeah.
And then the T-Rex would be like, you sons of bitches.
I got tiny arms.
Yeah.
Jackie, another question?
No.
Sam?
No, mine was the big one. Is it for anyone?
I've got a bigger one.
Oh,
Is he a monster bud? Does he fit the rules
No.
of being a monster bud?
No.
he's just a man duck.
Man, duck.
He's just a dude that happens to be a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a monster bud.
It has a monster bud
No
feeling.
monster bud has tried to screw its monster buddy.
Yeah, he's gonna bang
Up to this point.
Yeah,
Leah
that we-
Thompson. He's just that cad. He's a feathery cad.
Yeah. But there is like a monster buddy element, like almost like Munchie. Like there's a
Sure.
Munchie feeling to this whole thing, like, whoop, he's at it again.
Yeah, the hyjinx, the failed hyjinx repeatedly
Right.
give you that, but at the same time, he's not. He doesn't have any magic powers. He doesn't have any. He's just a
He's a duck
duck man.
man. Yeah. And it's not. Everybody around him's life gets fucked up, but at no point is it his fault.
No.
It's the other characters that cause this terrible things to happen.
Yeah, which is the only thing that they were able to hold on to in the world of Howard the Duck is that he's the ultimate victim of circumstance, right?
right.
None of it's his fault.
It's not his fault. Yeah. So he is not a monster bud.
No.
Okay. Final recommendations on Howard the Duck. I'm going to go with Sam first.
For me, this is kind of an easy way to put it. If you've never seen Howard the Duck, yes, you should watch Howard the Duck. If you've seen Howard the Duck, you're not going to find anything on a revisit that wasn't.
No.
Unless it's been like 25 years and you can remember nothing about it. There's some fun stuff here and there. You're not going to have a great time with it.
No.
It's just okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's just okay. This is a weird one. It is historically significant. It's a very important movie. Without it, we would not have Pixar animation studios, I learned, because George Lucas took such a shit that he had to sell part of his animation studio to pay for it. And that eventually became Pixar. So that's kind of a big thing. I mean, it's a big movie.
This was the most expensive audio team ever assembled to make a picture.
Yeah, and some of the special effects are really good.
Yeah.
Some of the sound is good. Some of the work is good. But the comedy is just so George Lucasian comedy
Sure.
that sucks.
And, there's a bunch of it. It's just a mess because the production was troubled. Like, oh, it's almost on because we already shot this stuff and we can't get rid of it because it's the most expensive sequence in the movie, but it won't cut together with what we shot now and all of our rewrites. So we're going to put this line in here, and it just reeks of that troubled production all the way through.
I think it's as good as, say, Mac and Me, honestly.
It's better. It's way more viewable than
Yeah,
Mac
there's a
and Me.
couple things that make it nicer than Mac and Me, but it's just I can't in good faith say you should watch this film to anyone.
I would say it's 100 times better than Mac. I was laying on the ground with a stomach ache during Mac and Me.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
This has a lot of explosions. It has a lot of expensive sequences. It has some really good eye candy. It's just that it also has oatmeal dialogue that doesn't go anywhere for about 40% of it.
Jackie, I go to you. You break the tiebreaker.
I'm going to give it a do.
Wow. Okay. Why 4?
Just for exactly what Sam said. If it's been a while or you've never seen it, do it. If you've seen it recently, there's no reason to go back. There's no hidden images or, look for the spooky ghost in X scene behind the curtain.
No, it's not 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, there's nothing like that you're going to miss out on.
The boob, I didn't notice that until 6 times through the Leah Thompson bottom boob in the end scene. You just get a little bottom boob there. Sure like
Did
that,
you
Leah
like
Thompson.
it?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was
liked Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I thought it was well paced. I thought it was funny.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't hate it too. And that's the other way I can put. Like, I just don't hate it.
Huh.
It just doesn't like America 3000 or something like that. It's not there, but it's not. In fact, when I first revisited it about 15 years ago, I was like, it doesn't have enough to hate and it doesn't have enough to love.
Yeah.
But it's not horrible or anything. It's not a bad time. I mean, it's just not a great time.
right. Which to me that puts it right in the middle. That's a 5 out of 10 star, which is in the do not territory.
But the explosions and the special effects give me the 5%, so it's a 55.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a do. 2 out of 3 wins. How about that? We got some wrap up to do since Jackie was gone for a while. Some Halloween wrap up because as everybody that knows that pays attention to Jackie and I's Halloweens, I'm sure there's note takers out there that are real keened in on what we were up to on Halloween.
You guys listen to Halloween, the album by the band Halloween and their hit song Halloween.
Just like Living in a Box by the guys Living in a Cardboard Box. Off the record, Living in a Box.
Well, the Halloween thing is actually a real thing that happened.
So's Living in a Box.
Oh, that's true.
Living in a box, living in a cardboard box. Great song. No, we watch Nightmare on Elm Street every Halloween, the series. And last we recall, we were on Halloween. Yeah, you've done it to me. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. We have moved into the bad period of Nightmare on Elm Street with the Dream Child, 1989's Dream Child. Jackie, what's going on here? I mean, seriously.
Oh my God. He's not getting to her. He's getting to her through the baby.
Yeah, they're going to have a baby. Freddy and the lady from 4.
It's not her
Yeah.
and him that are having the baby. It's
Whose baby?
her and the football guy that gets killed in the car crash in the beginning.
But it's Freddy's baby because it's a dream baby. He's going to be the father. He's adopting this baby that's growing inside of her and giving it nightmare. You didn't get
No, I didn't get that at all.
The movie is called The Dream Child. The child is having nightmares in the womb, which is an interesting take to put on Freddy. Like, oh, okay, she's pregnant. Now the baby's having nightmares, and what's it gonna do? But yeah, he wants that baby. The bad guy always wants the baby, Jackie. How do you not get that? Do you think he just wanted to murder a baby because he's a dick?
Yeah, kind of.
No, it's the Dream Child. It's his baby.
Well,
He's
and
gonna
then
teach it the ways of the Freddy.
they have the nun rape scene in the
Right.
insane asylum, and that was just really disturbing for me.
Really? Okay.
Which is probably what turned me off for the rest of the movie.
Huh. I just thought it was really stupid.
It was dumb, but it's just like a horrible, and I don't know why that bothers me so much, but I just thought, fuck, this is just horrible. I hate this now. It's never going to come back for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the high road and critique the film on its merit. What I praise all the Nightmares for is the creative ways that you can use with Freddy because you've got unlimited imagination. The only thing he can't... Freddy is limited by you. And they didn't do anything. Like, it's just like, hey, I got scissor hands. I'm going to cut you in the face. Whoopie fucking do. Like, Jason can fucking do that shit, right? He's superpower. Well, yeah, right.
Can he? He just stands around in a jumpsuit most of the time.
And then the makeup sucks. They half-assed Freddy's face. Like, he's burnt up like a weenie in all the other movies. This, they just kind of like did wide shots so they didn't have to do a good job of his makeup. There's no close-ups, nothing like that, except for a couple times where he goes, "I'm Freddy," bleh.
And you're like, yeah, that was recycled from a previous movie.
It's just, I think that's a deleted scene from a different movie. I didn't like The Dream Child at all. I think it's the shittiest of them all, other than
far.
2. But 2 is on its own playing
Yeah.
field as far as why it's shitty, and we're gonna get there at some point. So I give Dream Child a don't.
I give it a don't as well.
Yeah. And then secondly, we watched to continue our other series that we get to once every, 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, Toulon?
Puppet Master 3, Too Long's Revenge.
You watched Puppet Master 3 again?
Yes,
No, we haven't done. We
God,
did 2.
we were on 5.
No, we
Yes,
weren't.
we
You
were.
were. I had
Oh.
never seen Toulon's Revenge before.
Oh my
really?
God, I was
Yeah.
so excited. I actually picked this one against Justin's suggestions. I was like, Toulon's Revenge, let's watch that. And he was like, no, that's a Puppet Master. I'm like, yeah.
No, they're not quite boring, but at the same time keep moving. I'm just not sure what's going on with these.
I give Toulon's Revenge a do not, because I don't like Puppet Master. I think they are boring. I think they're incredibly boring. Yet somehow Jackie is like, I love Puppet Master movies. And I'm like, what?
I don't hate them.
I thought I would give it a do. This one was more interesting than the other two that I've
I
seen.
like Toulon's Revenge pretty well out of
I don't
the
like
first
them.
3.
Yeah.
You don't hate them. Jackie fucking loves
Loves
them.
them.
That's what I'm saying is like, what's there?
Maybe it's that old guy that is Toulon. I just really like him a lot.
But nothing happens.
There is...
Well, the puppets, you find out how he gets his original puppets, right?
Sure.
Oh,
In this
Sarah
one-
Douglas
yeah.
plays his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
and so I liked Toulon's Revenge because, this is where we get to see where the black and white puppet comes from, with the skull head,
Blade. Yeah.
Blade,
Mhm.
and
Leech Lady.
the leech lady, which
Yeah.
is his wife,
Right.
which I didn't really understand why she was the leech lady.
It's kind of a dick move to make your wife I miss you so much. I'm going to make you immortal and put you into a doll, and you barf leeches. I mean, I wouldn't want that for you, Jackie.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to you either. I mean, I would at least let you shut them out. I don't know, anything other than
Yeah, like.
choking to death on a fucking leech trying to get it out of a hole the size of a pea.
And where does the leech lady power come from? Wait.
Is it because he used leeches on his wife's dead body to get the blood to put into the doll?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just got like little leech, whatever baby leeches are called, growing in her tummy at all times.
She had worms.
That's pretty much it. She's got worms. But either way, yeah, she becomes Leech Lady. We see the origin of Blade. Tunneler was already in it. No, he makes Six Shooter, too.
Six Shooter's
first appearance.
Yeah, and I really like Six Shooter.
I almost think Six Shooter's my favorite puppet.
I kind of think you might like the Puppet Master because you got all their names on like speed dial here.
I know.
I just
I
don't
don't
like
know
the
their
movies.
names, but he knows who the hell they are.
I
I'm
like the
the one
puppets.
with the guns.
I like the puppets. I don't like the Puppet Master. He's a total tool.
But I'm going to give it a do. I liked this one better than the first one.
Huh, wow. Well, I don't think any of them are interesting.
I like that we're going back in time now.
Okay. All right. So there's 2 dues from us. Both of them are
I
for
would
rent.
give you a do on it as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the thing I really like about the Puppet Master movies, and I don't really like it, but I really admire it, is because they're thin. Mm-hmm. They're super thin,
Razor thin.
but he keeps the pace of these things
Not me. I'm falling asleep.
solid. Well, yeah, but there's not that much there, right? But they're sort of dreamy and they flow.
They
right?
are. There is a surreal feeling to them for sure. I will
Yeah.
grant you that. The music is always very, almost vaudevillian.
Yeah.
Throughout all of them,
Which is part of its charm, I think.
right. Yeah. There's a very distinct tone to the Puppet Masters. I'll grant you that. So there you go. We got anything else, Sam? You want to cover?
Well, we could talk about what kind of a man David Arquette is.
Oh, do we have to talk about David Arquette ever in life?
He's all man.
Why?
What?
You guys didn't see the wrestling shit?
What?
No.
That movie. I mean, he was
Okay,
in
no,
that
so
wrestling movie a few years
He's
ago.
been doing indie pro wrestling since then.
Huh?
In like extreme types.
Like backyard bum fight type
No, they had
With
a
a
pretty
Cobra?
good crowd.
Cobra.
No, like wrestling, like phony wrestling. But yeah, they had a pretty good crowd, and he had to get all stitched up. He was hospitalized.
Because somebody tossed him on top of a table.
No,
little
they
ladders and chairs match.
broke a neon tube over his head.
Okay.
And this, I believe, can only be done with a certain type of neon tube.
I would
And
think
they
so.
didn't have that, and so basically somebody threw 1,000 knives at him. So he starts bleeding everywhere.
Okay, all right.
And this is...
And did he stay in character? Or did he go like, "Ow, my fucking face"?
He fucking kept wrestling.
All right.
And then, and I'm talking about amounts of blood that would make Mick Foley squeamish. Like he is
bleeding pretty good, brother.
at
and
one
it pisses
point.
me off.
Like he kind of, wrestles his way to where he, fake gets the guy down to where he can do like a walk around, and he leaves the ring for a little bit just to make sure he's not going to bleed to death. And he goes back in there and fucking finishes the fight.
What's his character's name? Does he
David
have
Arquette.
He's just David Arquette.
He's just David Arquette, the wrestler.
Does he wear like a luchador mask at all?
Oh no, he's got tattoos and he does the tight pants and the traditional fake wrestling boots.
Okay, all right. That's pretty basic.
Is this like a life crisis because he's no longer married to Courtney Cox?
He's not. I don't know.
Oh, they got divorced a long time ago.
Sure,
Well, good for her.
but he's been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
so it's not like no.
Huh.
He was good too.
Okay.
I was really surprised.
Was this on the YouTube?
No, I mean it probably is now. It was on somebody's Twitter feed.
Does he like get into the pre-match shouting matches
Oh, hell,
with
I
his
don't know. I just
opponent?
watched-
Like Mean Gene's there, and he's like, "Hey, David Arquette, that guy says your sister wasn't very good in that movie, and what do you have to say?" And he's like, "I'm gonna kick his ass.
Yeah, see, I don't think they do that in these indie circuit things. Right?
I'm gonna punch his balls so hard that his grandpa's gonna shit his own balls out, and then David Arquette's never gonna be born." Wait, I'm David Arquette.
Yeah.
Who am I voicing right
Hmm.
now? I'm the cream of the crop.
I don't think they don't have a TV show for these ones.
Yeah.
It's always good to see Mean Gene, even if David Arquette is there. That's your show, kids. Next up, it is my choice, and he's back. We're doing the M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh God
Oh,
damn it!
fuck.
Which one?
The Happening.
I don't even think I've seen this
I
one.
haven't. No, I fucking. This movie was made well after I gave up on that guy.
It stinks. Mark Wahlberg. So there you go.
He's in it?
Oh, yeah.
Does he take his shirt off?
Probably.
Yeah, all right, I'm in.
Okay, so check that out this week. Actually, don't. You saw it enough. All right.
The Plants Have Revenge by whispering people to
Yeah,
death.
you're good on the Happening, but we're going to talk about it next week. So enjoy your week, guys, and get to the chopper.
Oh, and don't forget. What, can we back
I'm the
up?
cream of the crop. What?
Can we back up a little bit?
Just say it.
Don't forget to send me fan mail now that I'm back.
Nope, don't do that.
Excelsior!
Excelsior. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.
That's on you, Mr. Producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, producer.
You're no George Lucas, you son of a bitch.
That's going on the front end.